Add to stage. Does it work now? Let's see if we can get you. You know, those kiddos. Those kiddos. I think we're here. Little fuzzy. Little fuzzy. Audio. Do we have audio? Where's our audio? This is always. Are we even live? And let's see, we got stream here. Anywho, just jumping on, saying hello. Had a few minutes. Hope everybody's doing great. Yes. Yes, a few stains here and there. It is a work shirt. It's that time of the year. We're getting into fall. Cannot believe it. You guys will have to let me know if you're seeing leaves change. Seems like we're getting leaves changing a lot sooner than normal. I don't know if that's a good thing for the old. Which side's that? This side. For the old deer camp, or what's going on? I don't know. Maybe we'll have so many leaves to clean up, which would be kind of nice. So if anybody knows too, they jump on the live stream here or not. Like I said, probably won't be on here for super long. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. We'll see if we get any questions or somebody lets me know where they're from or what the weather's like or anything of that nature. Don't be afraid. You got questions about garage doors, business, personal, health and wealth, let me know. Put it in the comments. We'll see what we can do. But no, I worked on, is it a 32? Is it 3265 or is it an 80? I gotta look. What 2005? I'm gonna look this up real quick here. Why we got a minute, right? We got a minute before everybody starts funneling in. Like I said, it's Wednesday, hump day, right? Is it hump day? It's hump day. Happy hump day. We're over the hump. So be happy. 2005. Let's do LiftMaster. LiftMaster garage door opener. Ooh, and it had a similar circuit board. Let's go on here. The old Amazon pops up, of course, right? Oh, the logic board. I'm seeing if it tells me. What is this? LiftMaster door receiver. It does not quite say. I'm trying to figure out what year or what model it is. So it's 8165. So was it the 8365? Had dual headlamps. Let me see here. We'll find out if somebody knows too. Man, those were some golden years though. Here's an image. We'll look up the image. Images can help you out a lot if on Google, if you're looking for certain stuff. I have found that out. No, I'm not really seeing nothing at the moment. But I don't know. Those are some golden years in garage door openers. I tell you what. Let me type it in. Maybe we can find it that one. 2005 LiftMaster garage door. I'm sure it wasn't the 80. Let's do 8265. LiftMaster has changed their numbers, it seems like. I don't know if they're like the worst. This is a gray looking cover. I don't know for sure. It had to be close though. An 83, there's an 8365. Let me type in the old 8365 here and see what we got. Oh. Plus, let me know too what you guys are working on. If not, you can always text me. You got my number. Text me, email me. Let me know what you got going on. I just ramped up the one video that I messed up. It's rendering for the Menards. The Menards job. Yes, at the extension springs. 8365. There it is. Look at that beautiful thing. There she be. This thing's always horrible for lighting. The 8365. What a beautiful unit. I sure do miss those units. I miss those days. I really do. Those were great. I worked on one today. I couldn't even. I told the lady, I said, look, I said, this thing's a beaut. I said, I really hate to swap it out. I said, I've had very little problems with it over the years. She had some variables. She had some variables going on. Let's put up Mr. Sky. Been a minute, Sky. That's right. We got cheers. That's right. Cheers to being alive, good health, making a few dollars. Right? It's all good, man. Every day is a good day. Wake up, suck air. It's a lot better than being 6 feet under, or ashes in a box. You know what I mean? Every day is a good day. So anywho, with hers, it'll come out eventually. But so hers got the photo eyes around backwards. Weird. I don't know why somebody was doing that. But the gear inside was actually in really good condition, right? Because that was always the common thing. I don't know what you guys. What's up, Mr. Eric? Mr. Freeze. Are you guys seeing? What do you change out most? What do you change out most on these newer ones, right? Because the gears inside, I haven't tore apart a new one. So obviously the insides change. You know, if you've been doing it for a few years, you know how it was, right? We had all those plastic gears. Plastic gears always go, or the top sprocket would wear out. What's the deal on these? Are they just is it just circuit boards on the new ones? Or is anybody like changing out the guts? Because I really don't hear anybody talk about it. Like they're changing out the drives in them. It's like I don't know if they're just changing out the whole head units. So that's kind of weird. It makes me wonder. You know, that's always like one of those things when you're installing this new stuff. You're always like, what's going to be the problem in the future on this? Or is it just you gut it out and put a new one? Which that does seem like. What apps? Oh, good question. Dumb me. I'm thinking like LiftMaster, right? Because I'm trying to think on the genies. I know the guys have done RPM sensors. That's been real common with them lately. But I tell you what, you know, now I see I don't remember ever changing out parts on the genies. But the LiftMaster I always came across, right? Well, I can't say that. Okay, so I remember on the genies, the older genies, right? It was the rubber grommet, especially for the screw drives. On the screw drives. Yep, the screw drives, the trolleys on the screw drives, right? That was always common. The plastic one with the metal to metal aluminum piece. I don't know exactly what it was made of. It seemed like it weared obviously more than the shaft and the screw drive. But I was just thinking on these LiftMasters, like, because what was the years on it that they changed? 10, 2010, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there is when they went to that new style. And I just can't remember. I just seem like every time I go to it, it's an electronic issue. And that's what I hear from the guys too, right? Electronic issue. Well, they said it was this. They said it was the RPM. They said it was the trolley, whatever, you know, and it's like I said, I'm always like, just change the dang thing. Just change it out. With LiftMaster, mostly safety sensors, boards, travel modules. That's the one. And gears. Who's got a video out there that I can watch on some of these newer ones? Does the Brazilian, is it the Brazilian hot dog? Is hot dog got it? Does he got some of the tearing apart? And what's who's got some videos on it that I'd like to watch? I need something to watch tonight. Safety sensors on those older ones, hardly ever touched them. We did a few, but it was very, very rare. It was more like, I remember on some of the, of course, like the Craftsmans, they were a little cheaper and they had the ones that had the plug in. Those would get corroded, but safety sensors on like the 05, like I worked on, they were still working because the lady went, well, maybe I need a new safety sensor. Cause I said something about them. And I said, well, I'm not saying you don't. I said, but they're very rare. And I said, one thing that was problem with hers when I found out when I flipped them is that somebody probably over tightened them and they broke the plastic piece a little bit on one side. I almost thought about, I didn't do it. It cradled in there good enough for me. I didn't, I was going to put some electrical tape around it just to get her by, but I was just going to use a mental where if I had to go back or she has problems, cause I told her, I said, for right now, I said, let's use it. I said, you know, I tore the cover off, not a flake, a snowflake in there. You guys know what I'm talking about. The snowflakes. Not a snowflake in there. It looked beautiful. And I put some more grease in there. It looks like it was hardly used. So I can't do it. So let's try it out. She bought a new opener. Had another Chamberlain. I don't remember what model. But I said, let's try this old one. I said, you can take this one. She's got rentals and stuff. Take it back, get your money. Let's leave it here for good luck. Let's leave it here for a couple weeks. I said, it might fail. I said, might actually be a circuit board. I think this one had the red button on the backside. So pretty cool. What ops? But I didn't realize the safety sensors are being problems. So is this Eric? Is this the one that with the new bright LEDs that don't blink? Is that what I'm assuming? I'm still on the fence about the new photo eyes. I mean, I guess it is nice that you can see them, right? The photo eyes are nice. I think it is nice that they are a little shorter because you get in those weird spots, like somebody's got a cupboard or something there. So I don't know, but if they're failing, come on, man. Can't have that. Excuse me. Eric Scotty goes, I always have issues with people bumping against them or stuff getting inside and corroding inside the sensors. That's good to know. I didn't know that was an issue. We never used to have that problem. At least I never had inside corrosion. I've had the plugs when they did like the Chamberlain, some of the not LiftMaster, but the Craftsman's where they like plugged in the back. We get that all the time in Michigan, the moisture, corrosion, salt, dampness. But inside, what are they not sealing these things up? But I have been hearing about that travel module, the modules. But the gears, I don't know if I've heard anything about the gears and what gears. That's why I probably got to watch somebody's video. There's probably a video out there of somebody tearing it apart. Uh-oh. What does that mean? What you got, Eric? It says the sensors themselves are not at fault. Oh, come on, man. Give me a little more details. You can't leave me hanging like that. The sensors themselves are not at fault. It's up in the board or something? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Why? But why? Why are they having those problems? They're getting so cheap. Am I wrong or crazy? Genie doesn't have any. Genie only has one set of photo eyes, right? For residential and commercial. I felt like every time I've gotten a commercial operator, I'm always like, these are their photo eyes? Like, these look kind of cheesy. Like, I got to use these. And I don't know if it's a good thing. I guess I'd like kind of your guys' opinion if it's a good thing, bad thing. They're universal. So if you were to go across residential or commercial, residential to commercial, all the photo eyes are the same. I just don't think there's. I'm gonna double check here. I'm gonna see if anything pops up on the old Google. Yo, Google. Genie commercial photo eyes. Let's just see if they pop up. I don't know about these. They got some weird stuff. Genie commercial monitored photo cell. What is this? Got something on there. Oh, come on. You should be able to pick that up. Oh, it changed. The stinkers. I want some cookies or something. I don't know, cookies. Can't say I ever used those. Those look pretty robust. They're monitored though. Monitor photo eyes. Safety. Interesting. The photo eyes are monitored on this thing. Genie commercial retro. They got a reflector one. Oh dang. They do. They got, I guess obviously I'm just used to what they send you in the box. I don't know why the reflector ones, if I've always kind of scared me. I tell you what, are some darn good opener or photo eyes. So are these things. They must be using the same thing as LiftMaster. These are those the photo eyes, those NEMA 4s. Here's a LiftMaster one. Those little round tubular looking ones. Man, I tell you what, you want some bad to the bone photo eyes? I've never ever had a problem with these things. I mean, I've seen them taking some crud, some dirt, um, some bad environment. They're rubbery, so they spring back. Oh man, it's like if you want the cat's meow, you bolt those to the ground. Your your fasteners and that will corrode and rot before those photo eyes will give you trouble. I've had really good luck with those photo eyes, those NEMA, the NEMA 4s. Um, I can't think of one time I've ever had a failure, but those LiftMaster ones that they send with you on the commercial ops, yeah, I've had problems with those. I have definitely had problems with those. Oh, it's kind of a bummer too. I can't see if anybody does a like on the stream. I was gonna say you should hit the like button. Like I said, this one doesn't show anything. Oh, Eric's guy says people are installing the sensors. Pop this up. People are installing the sensors too low, so water gets inside them, or people hit them with the garbage bins, or kids mess with them. So it's isn't not an issue with the sensors, just abuse. Yes, yes. And probably for those NEMAs, that doesn't make sense. You can't go NEMAs with all your resis, right? This one says $166. Ooh, man, you'll lose your profit right there. $166 for those NEMAs. The NEMAs would be sweet if you could do that. I feel like, these ones were always pretty robust. The bigger surface area, it seems like with them, the more protection, right? Like when you got these ones, these old school ones for the LiftMaster. They were a little problematic, but I like the bigger. I like them. They're just stronger. The brackets, especially if they're for the commercial ones. I've been kind of going back and forth between the whole residential or the old brackets. I've heard some people. I've heard you guys actually that complain that they don't clip that good for the LiftMaster, the new style, and I don't know if I just haven't came across it yet, but I'm feeling like I don't. Somebody was saying you can do something with them. That's what you couldn't do with the other ones, and I'm not seeing it. I looked at one the other day, and I kind of thought, okay, does this piece come off or something? It didn't do anything. I clipped it on there, and I did have the bracket was smaller, and it didn't feel like it clipped on as good. Like I kind of did like the 3-time wiggle. You know what I mean? Like kind of wiggled it on there. Like, oh man, this like you're gonna stay right. You're not gonna fall off on me. Where the old ones definitely were like just kind of, like they were a bear to take off. You put them in the wrong spot. You were sitting there with like a screwdriver trying to pry them off. They were a nightmare. So I don't know. I mean, I know some of you guys have been saying you like the LEDs. I think I like the LEDs. LEDs are nice, but I still miss the blinky blink. And that was another reason. I think me and Eric talked about this. That so I asked her, I said, when that door, she said it was going down partially, it would stop and just do weird things, totally really wasn't making any sense what she was explaining to me. So I was like, okay, I'm not denying it, but something that just really doesn't add up. No light bulbs in the unit. So I asked, I said, well, do you ever hear, I said, do you ever hear it blinking or clicking? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I hear it clicking. It does it all the time or something, blah, blah, when it's doing whatever. And I said, okay. I said, the only reason that thing would ever click, I said, is these photo eyes. And I think that's what triggered it. That's why she said, well, do I need new photo eyes? And I was like, not really. Cause I was thinking right now it's running up and down. So it wouldn't be, it'd freak out. So we ended up, we got some light bulbs, installed light bulbs, um, got the covers cleaned up, made it look nice for an old unit. Got the photo eyes so I could see them again. Could see the orange and the green. Eric Scott, he says, if I ever make my my own op, he says, I'm going to do the reflector style. It's just one set of wires and one sensor. I really, it's really weird to me how, I'm just, this is just my personal thought, right? I don't know why I feel like it's so against the rules to do a reflector and a photo eye. I don't know why. I don't know why I think that when it comes to garage doors, because when it comes to, gate operators, we do it all day long. We put them, cross reflector, and that just seems like the natural, normal way. So it's like for Eric, it's like I'm sitting there and I'm going, I can't disagree. I mean, I'm not, it's some reason my brain, it's like I've seen them before in the brochures and I'm always just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I don't know if it's because it's more of a convenient factor that we're, on a garage door, you got access where like on a gate, sliding cantilever gate, you're, you can't like, you're like, I'm not trenching under the driveway or whatever to get, conduit and power up the wires and stuff. So it's just really weird to me, the concept. And I don't know if it's because with the gate operators, we've had problem like fog, and then like there is a reflector out there that they're both powered up, and it helps keep the fog off the lenses because they both have power. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't when they get older. But I don't know why I feel like it's so wrong to do reflector on a garage door opener. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. And like I said, it's I'm saying it's not. I just have it's kind of like one of those things, right? Maybe there's food out there, right? That we all, how you look at something, I'm not eating that. Like it tastes good. You're like, I know it tastes good. I'm not eating it. It looks like something, and I'm not going to eat it. I don't know. I just, I don't know why. I don't know why. Sky Guy says old Stanley had reflectors. Is that the one that would beep? Right? Is those Stanley had like those, right? They had those little plastic ones, those little really slim gray plastic ones. And then I feel like they had the one. I do remember the one that was like a more of a bigger, taller one with that dome on the front, I think, if I remember right. And then it did have the reflector. It'd be cool to see like a history or see like old advertisement of how those Stanleys. I'd love to see the Stanleys. You know what I mean? Like that, how they evolved, or who was even selling. Does anybody know who was selling Stanley back? Was it just pretty much everybody, all lumber companies? Was it only exclusively Ace Hardware? Was it just Sears? That was exclusive. I guess Stanley's, Stanley openers really, they kind of got like that soft spot. I hate them. I just hate them. I always hated them when I was out on the field, right? Because it was like, it's like you didn't know what you're going to run into, right? And you get out there and it's like you get the lady or you get the male, the gentleman, and it was like you get their door fixed, right? Broken spring or something, right? And I remember I can't tell you how many of those I touched or I'd watch, and I watched that trolley and it split, right? And it's like you're sitting there going, did it split before the garage door broke or did it split when the garage door broke? I'll never know, and so now you're like, is it going to live? Is it going to make it? Because I don't think this customer really wants to spend another, $400, $600 on an opener. Like they're going to think I'm bamboozling them. And you're like, And then you try to make an adjustment right on the back. I always remember that. Like that was the kiss of death, man. Don't touch those darn limits in the back. Do not do it. Don't touch nothing back there. And it seemed like every one I touched, the door would just malfunction. I'd break the trolley on them because they'd overextend. And I was like, I couldn't deal with them, man. I hate these things. I love them, but I hate them. It's like, and then some of them, it was like we were tearing them out. It's like, yep, those things are junk. And then you come back somewhere in there for 20 plus years, and it's like, yeah, I guess that one was built on a Wednesday and not a Friday. That's how they felt. The Ford dealership and all their doors have reflector sensors. Yeah, I mean it's weird, Eric, because I think about it, and like we got the DPWs, one of them. That's all they got too. They got, but they got the Omris or the Omron yellow ones, big red, the commercial ones as reflectors. But I just, like I said, I'm glad you brought it up because it's one of those things. Like I said, my brain constantly just goes no, 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 and no. Um, I don't know why, but it's really, like you said, you're right. It's less wires. So it's a great concept because if you got a rookie or even myself, I've done it, right? You got less staples to mess with and less staples to puncture something. Um, I don't know why. I think it's just psychologically where I go, two beams that are powered are more stronger than a reflector. Um, that's just something I don't know. Super quiet. What's super quiet? The old Stanleys. What you got, Sky? Let's see here. They had a great. What was it? Holy cow! What do you got, Sky? You saying Stanley had a great door too? I didn't know Stanley even did doors. Hmm. I don't think I've ever seen a Stanley with a reflector sensor. Yeah, I think I've come across a few of them. I remember they had the small flat transmitter receiver. Was a big block with a bubble on the front of it. No, I seem like I remember. Heck, what was that? I think even one of the Stanleys. No, you know what? That might have been I think it was a Quantum Drive. I think it was a Wayne Dalton. Am I right with this, guys? Have you ever seen the ones that are battery photo eyes? So they're wireless. So the photo eyes actually have batteries. And I believe it was a Wayne Dalton, it was a Quantum Drive. And I was just like, what is this? And they were all corroded. The guy was like, I always got to hold the button to make it go down. And I thought, who thought of this? Like, I thought this is acidine, like battery operated photo eyes. I just went, that's when I call it. And I just say, forget them. You know what I mean? Like, just don't even install them. Could have been a Moromatic. Ooh. Oh, just ripped out Stanley that had that set up. Man, make sure you got some pictures. Pictures, man. Okay, Sky says yes. Got it. Moromatic probably had the reflector. I never messed Moromatic. I don't remember the Moromatics. It's not clicking in my head. I think the iDrive had battery sensors. Ooh, the iDrive. Gosh, I don't remember the iDrives, them pushing it. I feel like we were like the first when those iDrives came out. Well, because there was like 3 or 4 series of the iDrives. And I remember the iDrives. I just remember because we were big into Wayne Dalton. And I remember the salesperson, like coming in the shop and they're all like, we got this new, it's going to go on the Torque Master tube. And I mean, I was really on board too. Like, I was just like, this is revolutionary. And we were selling Wayne Dalton, we were selling Torque Masters. And so we got 2 of them and we installed them for a new install. And those things flopped on their face so badly. But I don't remember anything ever saying anything about like, you could always do the battery, like battery operated ones. I don't remember that being an option. But I feel like I remember I was at an old guy's house a little ways, and I just remember I thought it was a Quantum Drive because I just feel like they were square blocks, and I thought, what is this? Like, oh, leave it to Wayne Dalton to try to reinvent the wheel. That's like, oh, hey, we'll do this wireless photo eyes. I thought, jeez, you know. They did use they did use the same eyes. Ah. Sky's got it. He goes, I always passed on the iDrives. No thanks. Dude, the iDrives were just I remember even that came back to haunt us. We had those two that we installed. How was I don't remember how their lights looked on them, but they had a light. They plugged in, right? Well, the light quit working. And we're trying to be as nice as possible, but the customer, of course, our stickers on it, right? And this is whatever 6, 8, 10 years later. They're like, the light quit working. Can we get a new light assembly? And we're like, no. And they're like, well, what about no? Like, you can probably go on eBay. And it just seemed like they went through their cycles. I mean, they went through whatever 3 or 4 or 6 generations of it so fast, and then they discontinued it. It was like, if you want something, go on eBay. Like, we're not going to help you. Like, sorry, we don't know we don't even know what to do with you. It's that bad. All we can do is come out and change it. And like I said, I remember the darn things. Like I said, it was wintertime, and like I said, so like we're in the perfect world here, right? I mean, new construction, new garage door, new torque master, which we're not rookies at doing it. So we got all that stuff installed. We get the iDrive on there, and I remember this thing is failing. There's no way to override it. It's like there is, I think, a way to make it more sensitive. So it's but we initially fire that thing up. We're like, oh, this is gonna be great. It learns its limits. Amazing. Oh no, it goes up. It seemed like it did up okay, but it couldn't figure out down. And I remember my business partner at the time. He's like hanging on the door, and he's like, I mean, he's trying everything. I mean, he's a smart dude. I'm a smart dude. We're just like, what is going on? Reading the instructions, and he's just like, screw it. He's like, it's just going to have to stay up 3 inches. That's just how it's going to be. I'm like, dude, you can't tell like a new builder, and I think it was even his uncle was part of the build, and I'm like, we can't like leave it 3 inches. It's snowing out right now, like snow blowing under the door. Like, we can't, that's not acceptable. And so it was like after we did those two, they always had that weird like little clackety clack, dee, 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 when they moved and all that kind of stuff. And then they had that arm, and I've seen where the arm would fail. That was a pretty big flop. I wonder who had really actually built those. Because Wayne Dalton probably didn't build them like in-house or anything. It was probably, whoever, Guardian or something, or I wonder, because I never seen anything that ever looked similar. How sometimes you remember like when Wayne Dalton would put their stickers on the LiftMaster, the commercial ones anyways. Dun-dun-dun. Says they never ever worked. Amen to that. They did not. They just flopped on their face all the time. All the time. I don't think I ever came across too many that were the universal ones where they had that hub. That hub would like somehow screw or attach to the a standard what was it, a standard torsion spring tube, hollow tube. I don't remember seeing too many of those. They all went on the iDrive, which or on the Torque Master teardrop tube, which was good. That was really the way they were intended. But just you had the pull cord on the side, and just everything seems like it's always off, because you got to either do it right away with the builder, right? So, I mean, in a nutshell, the iDrive kind of screwed people in a sense, because even if they don't want to look at the opener, right? Because that always seems like that's the big thing. People just go, I don't want to look at the opener. I don't want to look at all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And you think about it. So now you got an outlet, right? Because I feel like, you had to I'm pretty sure you had to put the opener right in the center roughly. And then you had to put the outlet right there. So you had to have that all in the build. And then if they even converted it over, you did a spring conversion on it. You'd have to, now if you even do a LiftMaster or something, jack shaft or a Genie, now the outlet needs to be really on the side. So it just gets to be just, it's like, just put it in the back, where it hangs in the middle. That's just where it belongs, and then the light's there, everything's contained. the pull cords hanging where people are always looking at it, where I'd had people that were just like, how do you disconnect this thing? I'm trying to lift up my door. I had people like, I remember like, I think I had one customer I went to one time, like they somehow broke the arm. Like they took the arm off because they thought that, that's like holding it down, locked, which I mean, in a nutshell it is, but realistically, now the motor's jammed up, right? The motor's not working because they lost power or whatever. So they're lifting the door dead weight. It never fails. It just never ends. Never ends with those things. Unless they found the disconnect and they pull the disconnect. That would somewhat work, but just crazy units. Crazy units. I still can't get over those Challengers though. So did Challenger make the Wayne Dalton ones? Because I feel like those rails, I just seen that Challenger, I think it was Tony's or something. And I was looked at the J arm and I'm thinking that sure does look like Quantum Drive or Wayne Dalton Quantum Drive to me. Installed a traditional. Eric Scotty says, I remember someone talked about finding a door with a failed iDrive, but they installed a traditional drawbar above the iDrive. Probably just left it, gutted it, pulled the disconnect on it, let it run. It's a very complex system once you kind of get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, with the spring brakes, now it's like, how do you got to tear this apart. And it's kind of how do you explain it? It's kind of a one and done, you know what I mean? Like you installed it and you don't come back to ever warranty it. You install it, you leave it, you sign up with another affiliated door business. And that was Johnny's to go. We don't deal with those anymore. That was other business. We're Johnny's to do now, it's just something. It's just crazy. Just crazy. What is this? I don't want this doing this. No, what is this? No, something was clicking off on me. So what else is new? What else you guys seeing out there? You seen anything? Anybody working on anything? Got anything kind of big going? How's life treating you? Everything going good out there? Waiting to see I feel like everything's kind of settling right now, right? Well, I just seen, I think I seen a post or something. We have 6 weeks. I was like, 6 weeks. Holy cow, that's coming up fast for the election to see. I'm going to play with this for a second. I'm just going to click this, press 2. I don't think that changed anything. Nope. Didn't change nothing at all. Failed iDrive installed. I don't feel like nothing out there is going too gangbuster in the business world. Things are staying busy. People are staying pretty busy. There's still money floating around, but it ain't, see a lot of price cuts right now. Price cuts on houses and stuff. Challenger made the first Wayne Dalton app. Ooh, the Wizard. I don't know. That was before me. 2113. Then Wayne Dalton bought Challenger's patent, made the Quantum. Oh, gotcha. What you got here, Sky? Says, who was the guy with the shop door install? Is that a question for me? Who was the guy with the shop door install? The shop door. Maybe give me a little more details. Let me know if that's a video or something I did. I'm drawing a blank. Caleb. Yes. Now it's coming to me. So that whole ordeal was, it sounds like possibly it's like a guy that he works for in construction. They do all kinds of other things. And then it's like, you know how it is, like a brother to a brother type thing. So it's like in a family. I don't know if they just purchased the house and are kind of revamping it. It sounds like a few people are going to live there. So what they typically do is, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. They buy stuff, right? So they you kind of think of it as like a flip home or an investment home, whatever, right? Or they're going to live in it for maybe a couple of years, tax advantage. I don't know. Anyways, they built the building, right? The shop. I have no clue where they came up with the whole um, the doors. I have no idea. Like I don't even know where it came about. I just know um, Caleb reached out to me and I was trying to like pound him. I'm kind of like, I'm like, dude, I'm like, get me pictures, get me pictures, get me pictures. Cause I always feel like anything I ever deal with like any of you guys, even out there, right? I get questions. And even when it was hardcore with my employees, it's almost like, don't flip and call me unless you send me some pictures. Cause I don't know if it's just me, and I'm dumb, but it's like your terminology is a lot different than my terminology. So like but if I can see something, right? I mean, if they take a few pictures, a back picture, a close up picture, or something, I'm like, oh man. And then they would call me. I'm like, we got problems. Like I can see your problem. This is how I'd fix it, and gives me time to think about it a little bit too, right? Where they'd call me and they'd be like, it's like chickens with their heads cut off, blah, 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 blah. Well, anyways, so they purchased the doors. I don't know if they thought the building was going to be lower and they built it higher because now there's a car lift in it. I have no idea. All I know is he said, "Hey, I'm going to be doing a couple 10 by 10 doors," and I was like, "Sweet, sweet." Well, what I've kind of let him know is I'm like, if you would give me a heads up, and he's still young. So he's doing the whole, like it's run and go, man. It's like, hey, I got the weekend off. It's like, I can go get these done for you. Boom, 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 boom. Right. We're all there at one time. And I'm like, whoa, you need to slow down, man. You need to check what you got. And then we need to elaborate. And then what I'm trying to express to him is I'm like, hey, Mr. Caleb, like you have one of the best resources. That's a phone call, that's a text, that's a picture away to so I told him, I said, you really should have, you should have detailed this one, looked at it and explained the situation. But he's learning, it's all good. So basically it wasn't he didn't buy the doors. He was just installing it. So he was just doing labor. And then, they should have been furred out. And I wasn't a part of that, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like after the fact, and I went there and I seen pictures and I'm like, you should have like had them, furred out with some wood, 2x6. Do. What you got? Is it Clifton? What's up? What you got? Throw them up here. Staying busy. It's slowing down a little early, but gearing up for spring season. Just waiting on cold weather to start. Nice. It's always weird for us because we get we typically stay busy. It seems like stuff will start ramping up because you start getting all the holidays, and then you start either getting people that want to take a little more time off. You get the sickness. You get people ever changing over the weather, especially up here in Michigan. Michigan's a lot harder because we get, the weather's unforeseen. So the next day you get a snow blizzard, and you were going to get 3 things done. Now you only get 1 thing done. All your vehicles will start taking a strain, batteries, cold weather, defrost, icing on the vehicles. You got all these things you got to do. So tons of things to take into consideration, but people are trying to dump their money. A lot of our corporations, the big companies, they're trying to get rid of that money. So they're trying to get fence stuff done, gates done. They're trying to get rid of that money for the end of the year, so they don't have to pay all the taxes. So it ramps always, seems like, to about the beginning of the year. And sometimes, not always, it goes poof. And it's like, you're like, hello, where'd everybody go? And other times it's like, oh my gosh, the weather is killing us. Doors are freezing up. They're frozen to the ground. A forklift smashed into it. It can be all kind of weird. Cool. You sent me a picture. Oh, this guy says, I thought he was a worker and had to deal with the mess. Oh, yeah. No. Caleb's on his own. He's independent. He's kind of learning. Yeah, no kidding. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. I thought about it. I got the other property that I thought about buildings for the vehicles. It's always a possibility. Um, so we'll see, in time. But anywho, I'm gonna run off because it's gonna start getting really loud because I got kiddos coming home. So you guys have a good rest of the night. If you got anything, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, and we'll talk to you a little later. Have a good one. Which there should be another video coming out. I don't know if it'll come out yet tonight, but tomorrow it is. See you guys. Take care.